And here we are. Game number 1 is here. And today we have the chat again. Yes. For the civilizations, we'll see TaToH playing with Mongols, Vinchester playing with Mongols. Both these players with the same civilization. They are playing double Savannah. This is a map that kind of asks for Mongol in a sense because of how much hunting there is available. So it's very common to see the players go for the same civ. One of those where you're probably expecting to see a mirror matchup, pretty similarly to Four Quarters, where by this point you're expecting to see double Hindustanis or potentially even Rivulet, which has favored Huns quite a bit, and we have seen Hun mirror quite a lot over there, even though it's not 100% required. I would say that on this map, playing Mongols is almost a full requirement. Hey Grump, Mr. Whitebeard as well, Cyril Arrow, and Flowering Dancer. Double the cup, double the fun, yeah. So for this civilization, for both these players, they are both going to get the faster working Hunters, extra HP on cavalry units for the most part. Faster attack and cavalry archer type units. Extra HP, extra line of sight actually on scouts, right? And that'd be about it. There isn't too much. Take a look at this in that sense. And the guys are already doing a very good job taking the elephants, although Vinchester seems to be struggling to keep both TCs fed. It's going for the second elephant from the TC towards the right hand side, and TaToH on the other hand. He's got 2 elephants up in the north. He's got 2 elephants down the south as well, although I think he already took this one. He didn't finish it yet, so he's going for another one, and he's doing a little bit of a better job compared to Vinchester in keeping the TCs fed, keeping the villagers busy over here. And of course, after the villagers are through with the starting elephants, they're gonna have to go and try to collect food from elsewhere, and thankfully for them, there is a lot of extra food around the map. Zebras, extra packs of elephants as well. Rhinos too, right? So you're going to have a little bit of everything everywhere. So long as you are willing to risk it a little bit, and of course, stay away from your TC in the later stages of the game to collect the resources for free. Will provide your opponent with opportunities for raiding, with opportunities for damage. So it's obviously not going to be always just free food. What to expect over here? TaToH has done really well in this tournament, and so has Vinchester. Vinchester actually was the one to take the Viper, if I'm not mistaken, down to the lower bracket, right? And TaToH so far has had, I don't want to say a completely smooth sailing over here, but it's certainly been pretty good overall. And Shantini, as always, keep up the good work. Greets, thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. And welcome again. And oh, nice. That's going to be first blood. As TaToH gets too close to the sun, he gets burned. DC over here takes the first unit down. And the fuel is coming up already for Vinchester on 27 workers, mind you. That is not a lot. Usually you see the players try to go up on over 35 workers over here to fast castle right away. But because this map is so open, and Mongols are the predominant civilization over here, you're very likely to see few village pressure. It's one of the fewer maps from the tournament that's actually going to have a decent chance of seeing some feudal action. Vinchester collecting the elephants over here. He's gotta be careful over there though. Oh boy! Oof, he saved the villager just in time. There we go. Fantastic. So far, TaToH's been able to keep up himself pretty well as well. He is going up significantly later though. He's got a single scout over here left. And now he's trying to bait Vinchester into the TC. He was able to get some good hits over there against the scout with the TC arrows. But he's going up to the fuel H a little bit later. And the scouts are already getting a villager over here. And that is a beautiful snipe from Vinchester. He's got both these scouts available still to potentially idle extra villagers from TaToH. And the villagers don't get idle, then Vinchester could try and go for a snipe over there. Anyway, Vinchester being the first player to get to the village is going to get a stable up ASAP, and we're gonna see some scouts coming out. Meanwhile, TaToH seems to be interested in fast castling over here. He's got, to be fair, a comparable amount of resources compared to Vinchester. So if TaToH was able to fast castle from this position, Vinchester will be able to fast castle from this position without going for the scouts, of course. But it seems like it's going to be scouts for both players, right? Yeah, even double stables for TaToH, so it's not going to be a light-hearted push. There we go, good, because I missed the TOS cast. I was going to co-cast with TOS, but I kind of messed up the time. When I went to bed yesterday, or was going to go to bed yesterday, I saw that the series said 14 today, and I said, oh, okay, on Discord, right? And I said, okay, that's good. 17 GMT, 14 my time. That's fantastic. I arranged the co-cast with TOS. I told him, yeah, 17 GMT. Let's do it. And he was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then Arvez told me, hey, isn't the set happening in like 3 hours? And it was not happening in 3 hours, but I had seen the time wrong actually, so it was actually happening in about 8 hours from that point. And I really needed to rest, so I said, oh, screw it. But we are doing the recorded games now. I meant to type 3 hours earlier. Right, yeah, well, 3 hours earlier, that was absolutely correct. It was 14 GMT, not 14 my time. Being the case that I am GMT minus 3. Certainly checks out. But we're certainly going to collaborate in the future, for sure. Perhaps for one of the lower bracket semifinals, or perhaps for the upper bracket final. We'll see. Nice snipe over there! And you know what? There's a weak villager over here still from Vinchester. And TaToH's not realizing about this. He's not paying too much attention over there by the looks of it. Up in the north, he's paying attention to the scouts, but he ended up losing 2 over here fighting against the spearmen. So far, it's better for TaToH by a lot, and he ends up getting 2 extra villagers over here. It's going to be 5-1. UKV favoring the blue player, and the Spaniard does still have one very weak villager over here to potentially snipe. But he's doing a really good job creating a diversion with the 2 weak scouts for the remaining scout to actually go and take the villages. And you know what? 2 potential snipes are possible over here, but it's not going to be the end of it. There we go. 1 villager goes down. Another one goes down. And we'll see another one. Yes, sir. And TaToH is completely dominating this game as Vinchester tried to take the resources to go up to the Castle H, and he was able to, and he was able to click up. He stopped going for scouts, stopped going for units to defend himself with, and TaToH has taken 12 workers already, and Vinchester is in a world of pain. Mihai, thank you so much for the rates, very much appreciated, and welcome everyone. I hope you had a great stream, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am casting right now TaToH versus Vinchester from recorded games from earlier today, and we are in game number 1, so you're coming in just in time. This is just game number 1, so we're gonna have a lot left to go after this one, of course, at the very least 2 extra games. So buckle up. From having played multiple 2TC starts in mega random rank games, it's so stressful. Yeah, imagine in triple TC, imagine in quadruple TC start maps. I know for a fact that we are going to have a quadruple TC game later today. But we're gonna have to wait for that. Let's go in order. Hey, Alchemistry. Hi. Daniela as well. Welcome, welcome. Fantastic. Castle H is on the way now for TaToH and Bloodlines. It's coming up. 4 seasons. There was a 4 seasons map, I think, submission for the RMS Cup 2. I don't remember if it was 4 quarters with a different name or if it was different, but it was like the layout. I remember it was looking very much like 4 quarters. No, it was a different one. It was a different one. Another villager goes down over here. 2 villagers going down in the last 30 seconds or so from Vinchester to TaToH scouts. Spearman gets destroyed over there, and TaToH's still gonna keep on putting pressure. The thing is, he's very close to getting to the Castle Age himself, and he's already managed to get a 24 worker lead against Vinchester. I was gonna start going for step lancers right now, but we'll have to do so much catching up over here just to be on the same worker count. And that is another villager going down. TaToH is in a different game over here. Step lancers are getting close to TaToH's economy already, and we'll see if Vinchester can do anything over here. But that is once again a lot of offsetting for him to do. There we are. Some of the villagers are going down from TaToH. He can afford to take a few losses. He still has a little bit of grace over here, right? Still has taken 8 extra villagers from Vinchester compared to how many villagers Vinchester has taken from TaToH. The thing is, because of the extra idle PC time from Vinchester as well, the difference in villager count for both players is not going to come down to the eco KD, which would result in 5 extra workers for TaToH, and he currently has 15, but it's also going to be because of the idle TC time. And that is another raid coming up from TaToH once again, and he's getting a villager. He's got 3 scouts. Should be able to get another villager over here, and he will. Most likely. There we go. Well played, and good unit control from TaToH as well. How is he able to keep up with everything at the same time? He's got to defend himself against the Step Lancer. He's going to start going for some himself. As a matter of fact, because of his economy being stronger as well, TaToH actually manages to get extra Step Lancers out, despite being significantly later to the Castle Age compared to Vinchester, so now he'll be able to defend himself and potentially go forward and start putting some pressure with some of the remaining units as well. He's got 3 that are not defending, so these are forward, putting pressure, getting some damage done. And the Step Lancers, man, what an interesting unit, and has been ignored, has been neglected for the best part of the last few years, but it's got its resurgence. Of course, since earlier this year we saw it for the first time being used to great success in a tournament, in the grand final of the World Rumble tournament, if you remember, earlier this year, by Dragonstar no less. And ever since we started seeing them more and more. In recent memory, of course, and Warlords in Red Bull Wallow as well. To great success too, so it's certainly had a little bit of a resurgence over here, and I love to see it because it's not a resurgence in the sense that people figure out that it was broken and then they are going just for Step Lancers and nothing else anymore, but it's actually going to be a situational unit, so it's not going to be an end-all be-all. So that's great because now it's got its place and it's not, you know, kind of replacing any of the other units. You will still be able to make use of Knights when fighting against these. Yeah, Vinchester calls the GG over here. Couldn't really do too much over there and was not really taking too many losses over here on the right-hand side, but couldn't really get too much done up in the north and the left-hand side. And he realized how far behind he was, right? If you take a look at the score over here, there's only one explanation for Vinchester's extreme score lag over here, and that's just going to be TaToH being in a much better spot. So, game number 1 goes in favor of the Spaniard, 1-0. Let's take a look at the achievements over here before taking a look at game number 2. And what do we get? A better than 4 to 3 KD ratio for TaToH. For economy, a stronger economy for TaToH, collecting about 4,000 extra resources. As well as higher villager max count and a higher villager final count over here. Ended up losing about 17 workers over here, TaToH, while Vinchester, on the other hand, ended up losing about 26. Once again, though, idle TC time certainly making a world of difference. Right? Absolutely. Such a good position for TaToH. Higher PM for Vinchester, actually. Go figure. I think it was decision making, right? TaToH committed to the field age a little bit more heavily, going for the scouts. Vinchester trying to push for the Castle Age, but kind of leaving himself in a very exposed position. And there we are in game number 2. TaToH's playing with Japanese. Vinchester's playing with Byzantines. We have Coral Islands One of the most exciting maps. For sure. Especially with the addition of the sea tower building over here. It's certainly given this map an extra spin compared to most of the other traditional water maps or even hybrid maps as well. So we're gonna see some of that, I'm pretty sure. I believe this might have been also one of the participating maps for the RMS Cup 2, but yeah, we'll see. Hey, good attitude. Hi, welcome. Guys, after this series, we have another one. The Viper versus Dark, which is taking place live right now, but we're gonna cover as record the games after this one, so that we have both in the correct order. And tomorrow, starting, I believe, what is it, like 17 GMT? Let me take a look. I think it's 16 GMT actually. Tomorrow, starting 16 GMT. Let me check. Yeah, starting 16 GMT. So, Tuesday, 16 GMT, we are going to begin casting the replacement qualifier sets as well to define, for the Grand Melee, right? To define who is going to be the highest up on the list of people, replacement players, right? In case anybody from the main qualified players won't be able to attend. Anyway, over here it's pretty uneventful at this point. We could use this time to take a look at the civilizations as usual. Starting with TaToH, the blue player will get with this 5, 10, 15, 20% faster working fishing ships with twice the HP and plus 2 Pierce armor, as well as for Japanese. We're gonna get TaToH a 50% discount on drop-off buildings and 33% faster attacking infantry units starting in the field age. Now, I don't think that's going to be relevant over here too much. It's most likely than not going to be all about faster working fishing ships, a stronger economy by getting water control, or at the very least retaining some water presence. And then for the team bonus, the Japanese get 50% extra line of sight on galley type units. So that's going to be galleys, war galleys, and galleon, which could be really good, of course, if he does decide to go for that, which I think would be the best unit to go for over here. He will be able to spot exposed economy from a little bit farther away. He will be able to spot incoming units from farther away. And for Vinchester, playing with Byzantines here, he'll get 10, 20, 30, and 40% extra HP and buildings in the Dark Field Castle and Imperial Ages. 25% cheaper skirm, spear, and camel rider units, as well as free town watch and free town patrol. They also have a 33% discount to go up to the Imperial Age and 25% faster attacking fire line units. So fire galleys, fire ships, and fast fire ships will be significantly stronger for Vinchester. So we are expecting him to go for that. So long as TaToH is able to get a good amount of galleys, he should be able to defend against that without too many issues. For the team bonus, Byzantines finally get monks that heal units 100% faster. It's unlikely, in my opinion, that we're going to see any monks coming out. Or too many in any case on a map like this that is so water dominant. Right? Alright, Vinchester's transporting some villages over already. This player we're taking a look at right now, Vinchester, the Russian Wonder Kid, he has been one of the first players to make use of the unique features of this map. I think he might have been the first player that I ever saw in this tournament to actually make use of the sea tower. And take a look at that though, I think TaToH saw Vinchester. I'm really sure Vinchester actually saw TaToH, but they're going to go for a counter trash. And there we go. The sea towers are coming up already for Vinchester. These are available already in the Dark Age. We'll see TaToH going forward as well. Going to go for the counter trash. With 3, 4 sea towers going out. What is that? What are you doing, TaToH? He's going for another one. Okay, there we go. He's gonna try and... Does he have vision of this? Yeah, he's got vision of it, so he's gonna try and go for it. You know, there's nothing that Vinchester can do to defend against this, short of going for his own C towers, right? And red player does not have vision. Does not have vision. TaToH with the C towers already going to the nice sun fishing, not too much. We're gonna see if he prompts Vinchester to go for defensive C towers himself or not. Then taking a look on the left-hand side, we're gonna see Vinchester go for his own trash over here. 2 C towers coming up as well as a 4 dock. And as a few HSC already for both these guys at about the same time. We'll see the first Navy units come out. And TaToH, interestingly enough, he's going for Fire Galley against Byzantines. Vinchester, he's got Fire Galleys coming out himself as well. He's already producing from 2 docks. Meanwhile, TaToH is going to be kind of behind a little bit. Both these players should be on their way to the Castle Age very soon, but I can't help but feel like TaToH is kind of playing into Vinchester's strength over here by going for this unit. C Tower, they played model game? No. The script for this map allows you to build C towers. So it's only for this map. It's 25 wood, 25 stone, so very cheap. And you see that TaToH's already taking advantage of it to great extent, going for the 3rd C tower over here. He's going to have a much better position to fight, even against the Byzantine Fire Galley over here, because of the bonus damage, and the C towers are completely shredding that Fire Galley over there, almost down to smithereens. Yeah, there we go. What a great play from TaToH. Good unit control, and Vinchester's struggling to keep up. What is Vinchester up to? TaToH's going for defensive C towers. Vinchester was transporting villagers over here on the right hand side by the looks of it. Maybe he was paying attention to that. And he's been just losing a lot of HP over here for free. There we are. Yeah, and you know, transport ships going down shouldn't have been the case. So TaToH's also struggling to keep up with everything that's taking place over here already. Vinchester. Yeah, Vinchester's own C towers forward. We'll put some pressure over here. However, TaToH was not really fishing from this area too much. You can see that, okay, this 0-0. Instead, it's going to be the right-hand side that TaToH's taking advantage of. So that's a little bit unfortunate for Vinchester. That he couldn't find any efficiencies. But yeah, now the red player is also fishing from the right-hand side too. So it's not too bad. Both players will be able to keep on going for water economy despite the presence of C towers around the map. Oh, watchtower coming up over here for TaToH. So if you take a look, the watchtower is actually significantly lower HP compared to the C tower. The C tower does not have quite as much armor though, does not have any base melee armor. It's got 1 less pierce armor as well, if you take a look at it. And if you take a look at the attack, the standard watchtower gets 7 bonus damage against ship type units, and the C towers gets 9. So it's a little bit stronger compared to watchtowers, and it's much cheaper. So I'm kind of wondering if TaToH would actually want to go for just C towers over here. I think you can only build them on the water though, so you cannot go for C towers wherever you want. It's cheaper, it's stronger, yes, but it's also limited in where you can go for it. Vinchester, he was looking very close to going after the Castle Age himself, but he's not going for it yet. Still going pretty heavily into Fire Galleys, and well, TaToH being the first player to get to the Castle Age, being potentially the first player to get to War Galleys, to the War Galley upgrade, is going to be the first player with fire ships as opposed to Fire Galleys, and should find himself in a very good spot because of it. That's cheating, going for watchtowers. TC on the way for TaToH as well. That's going to be the 3rd one. Vinchester is going to the Castle Age so much later compared to TaToH. And the red player is trying to get a hold of the extra gold over here. And it's going to work for the time being. TaToH, of course, once he decides to put pressure against Vinchester over here, he should be able to go for much stronger units because of being in the Castle Age. And it's not going to be just fire ships, but potentially he could go for siege if he wanted to as well. I think fire ships would be enough. You just gotta be careful not to take too much damage over here. Remember as well, sea towers do not get any melee armor. They get only they get one less pierce armor compared to watchtowers. So they do go down faster to fire type units, which are going to have melee attack and pierce attack, right? So far, TaToH's looking good. By the time Vinchester gets to the castle age, TaToH's gonna be completely caught up for worker count, and with the 30C coming up already for TaToH, and it's gonna be there before Vinchester gets to the castle age, TaToH should be able to start pulling ahead as well, and so far, the blue player has looked very strong in the series. Taking game number 1 with what seemed to be a fairly effortless match, right? And for game number 2, certainly going to be a little bit more of a struggle. But he's still looking, in my opinion, a little bit stronger. Even if population is about the same for both these players right now, TaToH's got momentum, guys. The units he's got, they're going to be comparable in numbers compared to Vinchester's, but they are much stronger because these are fire ships. And Vinchester, he might have faster attack and fire line units, yes. But still on fire galleys, and he's waiting still for the war galley upgrade to come. And TaToH has already been able to take advantage of the absence of the upgrades for Vinchester, right? So he already took a villager down over here. Should be able to take the towers down here if he commits to it. Just gotta be careful though, because many of these are very low HP. We still have bonus damage, right, from the sea towers, so it seems like the fire ships are going down over there, and TaToH's gotta be a little bit more careful. So Byzantines researched the unique upgrade for 1 range for fire ships. Does it still count as range? Yes. I believe so. Greek fire for 1 extra range is not going to have an impact on the attack. It's just going to give them 1 extra range, I believe. It's also one of the upgrades that we have seen the least of, I think, in these past couple of years. Oh, wait a moment though. TaToH's landing and trying to go for a trudge. And check this out, he was trying to make a play for the demo and he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. That is a cheeky play over here from TaToH. Yeah, now he's going for a castle. Come on, man. TaToH's dominating game number 2. Vinchester, he's managed to get enough stone to go for a castle himself. He realizes about the castle coming up over here from TaToH, but won't be able to do anything on time over there to prevent it coming up. So he's going for his own castle at the center. There we go. That would be Grey Wall or Nomad. Oh yeah, it's not the least frequent upgrade we see, but one of the upgrades we see the least of. Only talking about it because it's for a civilization of the game that we are casting right now, right? But Great Wall is also seldom seen. Great Wall, Nomad for sure. Tiwi as well. Barely ever see that too. Although I would say that's probably a little bit more frequent compared to the other ones. Remember boiling oil? Talk about that. You're just starting to pull a lead in military count. Water's not over yet though. The war over the water is definitely not over yet. There we go. Oh, atheism. That is another one too. Beautiful. Beautiful. TaToH looks great. And Vinchester, Will Vinchester, is still on the back foot. As second, the worst trade so far. As you can see, is favoring TaToH almost 4-3. Vinchester's got the same amount of military units that TaToH's got right now, but of course, after losing a few extra units, that means that Vinchester has had to invest extra resources just to get to the same amount of military units over here that TaToH's got. So TaToH has also had a stronger economy because of it, plus a higher worker count. So it's looking pretty good for TaToH still. In my opinion, definitely in the driver's seat. Even the score is not quite as one-sided. Why is TaToH making normal towers near the coastline? I believe you can only build the sea towers on certain types of terrain, but I'm not 100% sure. So I think you can only build on top of the mangrove and the beach terrain, but I don't think you can build it on top of this. It'll be my guess. I have not tried it, but I think that might be a limitation. There is no heal over here, so I don't think the heal bonus is going to affect towers. Beautiful. And this is what I was talking about earlier. TaToH decides to push, and he's able to push Vinchester out of the gold over here. Meanwhile, Vinchester, he's got still potentially this gold to collect from, and he will transfer the villagers, just as we are talking about it. TaToH's got Yasama coming up now as well, so Yasama towers. Fantastic. That's going to give these towers extra projectiles. And we'll see extra sea towers coming up. You can see that it's also affecting the sea tower, so any tower type building is going to be affected by Yasama for TaToH, which is great for him, of course. I would imagine this sea tower is probably just a watchtower risk-in with different stats, right? Otherwise, I'm not really sure how it would be affected by Yasama. Or maybe it was already coded into the game, not really sure. Resources, TaToH looking stronger as well, should be able to go up to the Imperial Age much sooner compared to Vinchester, despite the 33% discount that Byzantines are going to provide for the red player. And then commit. Oh, and that was a good shot! That was a big one from TaToH. Damn! And then committing to the galley play over here. TaToH should find himself in a much better position against Vinchester. Remember, the Japanese get 50% extra line of sight on these units. They will be stronger compared to fire type units when you get past a certain amount, and I think TaToH's already past that amount over here on the right hand side. And he's just so close from having enough to go up to the Imperial Age. He's using the market right now. And Vinchester's utilizing the market quite heavily as well. He's gonna try to play for the Imperial Age too. He's got the castle, both players do. So it is a race to the Imperial Age for sure. And TaToH seems like he's gonna be the first one to click out those. Gotta be careful. He's trying to kill a few extra units, but he will be able to click up. And Vinchester, and queuing a few extra units himself as well, won't be able to click up anytime soon. Take a look. Vinchester was so close to having enough to go up to the Imperial Age, and now that is no longer the case. Starts going for some cataphracts now. He's got rams coming in. TaToH needs to go for petards here. Needs to defend himself. He's gonna bring the villagers over. Definitely would have been good for him to go for a gate or something over here. We're gonna see samurai coming out. But here come the cataphracts to defend the rams against any units. And they will take down the samurai, of course. But are they going to survive over here too much? TaToH would actually be better off going for murder holes. But that's something he would have needed to start going for earlier. If he goes for it at this point, it's going to be kind of futile anyway. Saludos desde Guatemala. Loving the chaos, brother. Thank you so much, Trooper. Appreciate it. Cheers to you. Greetings to you. I'm all the way down in Argentina. And I wonder how many Latin American people we have watching right now. Regardless, very nice push from Vinchester. Taking the castle down over there is nothing short of amazing for him, of course. TaToH gets to the Imperial Age very soon, but won't be able to go for trebuchets. And because he's playing with Japanese, there is no access to bombard cannons for the bull player either. Hey, Turnip! Hi, welcome. There we go. Imperial Age is here now for TaToH. And Oh, big shots from TaToH. He's got more demolition ships coming out as well. Vinchester does not seem to be paying attention, and that was a nasty shot from TaToH, completely wiping all the units out of water from Vinchester. Man, big power right there. I'm Latin American in my heart. Does that count? I'll take it. Second castle on the way. There we go. Beautiful. Right hand side towards the south. TaToH is going for the castle now once again. That'll allow him to go for trebuchets. Meanwhile, Vinchester's going to be in the Imperial Age very soon. So far, TaToH has gotten the better game still. With the best traits, very close to 2-1 traits for TaToH is amazing. And much better compared to before. Remember the last time that we actually tried to do some math to try and determine the KD ratio, it was looking closer to 4-3 for TaToH. So now, 2-1 or close to 2-1 for TaToH, given the much higher amount of units that have gone down in the game since, obviously reveals a much better position for the bull player. He's got trebuchets coming out finally, but the cataphracts from Vinchester will certainly provide a challenge for TaToH to overcome. The Imperial Age is here now for Vinchester, and TaToH doesn't seem to be paying attention over here too much. He's going to end up losing a bunch of villagers, and that'll allow Vinchester to catch up for Eco KD for the most part. Well done. Fast fire ships coming in now for Vinchester as well. TaToH's got shipwright, chemistry on the way now for Vinchester as well. And TaToH definitely still with momentum, especially on water over here. He's got enough galleon to hold on just fine. I'm also Latin American, but watching from the Netherlands. Those were some juicy demos earlier. Yes! Yes, Crowd Plasma. I didn't know you were Latin America. From Latin America. Can Samurai beat cataphracts? It's pretty even. They trade pretty evenly. And unfortunately, TaToH, when he was going for trebuchets, could not go for Samurai at the same time. And Vinchester does have double castle production, so TaToH won't really be able to keep up himself. Hey, Chandbrick! Hi, welcome. I couldn't this as well. Welcome, you guys. Can confirm, Netherlands is pretty much Latin America. Minus 30 degrees. Here we are. Yeah, and TaToH just keeps on getting more and more ground, so to say. And water, Vinchester keeps on getting cornered over here harder and harder. And while Vinchester seems like he's going to be the one getting center control in the end, it might not make too much of a difference. The only thing that you get by getting center control specifically on this map, and I think it's one of the beauties of the map design, is you have stone, right? That is something that you only have access to at the center. But it's only 2,000 stone that we have available over here for Vinchester to collect from. If he uses all the stone over there, goes for a few castles or a few towers, and then sells the rest for gold, that's going to be about it. You do need, instead, water control in order to get access to the extra golds, because all of those are in some of the neutral islands. As well as additional wood available in the neutral islands, which means that having center control doesn't even guarantee that you're going to get extra wood compared to your opponent, so TaToH's definitely not out of this, even if he has gotten pushed away from the center. It's gonna keep on marching forward, TaToH, that is. 67 right now to 24. Navy units, and TaToH could make a play for Cannon Galleon if he wanted to, yes. As a matter of fact, he's got elite Cannon Galleon already. On the left-hand side, it's gonna systematically take all the fortifications down from Vinchester, starting from the left-hand side, and moving over to the rest. And getting water control over here is ultimately what's going to allow you to get the game. Or should be the case anyway. We saw one game in the past. I'm not really sure if it's already available on YouTube. I don't remember exactly when that one was coming out, but it was ACCM. ACCM's game. Where we saw one player who did not get access to any of the neutral islands and only at the center, and was able to take the game regardless. But usually, you're certainly going to want to get water control because of all the extra gold being available only in the neutral islands. How do cataphracts do against samurai? The same bonus damage, attacks against each other. It's, for the most part, kind of a wash. It's not very one-sided. Let's take a look though. Bow! Big shot! Bunch of villagers going down over here from Vinchester, and TaToH going for what he's known for. The most over here, one of the things he's known for the best. The demo shots over there. Extremely effective. Didn't need to make use of it. In the end, he was going to end up clearing this up anyway, but that was good still, a juicy one. And the villagers get taken down over here, so Vinchester's going to have only one neutral gold to still collect from over here, the left-hand side one. It's currently guarded by a castle, however, TaToH does have the cannon galleon to work with and take the castle down pretty easily if he wants to. He's just gonna need to go forward and try and target it, right? Nice castle coming up for Vinchester. TaToH's got the tools to work with against this. Once again, he's not really making use of it, but he's got the water siege. He's going for more. TaToH's going for more. There we go. He's bringing these. He's gonna try and take this one down. Should be able to, of course. And then, if he's able to take this one down, Vinchester is going to be completely out of gold, completely surrounded by Navy units. Yeah, and now we see the trebuchets coming over. So actually, TaToH's going to cannon this castle down with the cannon galleon, and he's going to treble this castle down with the trebuchets. There we go. Keeps coming up right now for TaToH as well, so those are going to be fully upgraded already. He's got Bracer, fantastic. I would imagine at this point he already has gone for arrow slits. Let me take a look. Yeah, he's got the arrow slits. So he's got the arrow slits, he's got Yasama. Japanese do not get heated shot, but it may not matter. There isn't too much navy for TaToH to defend himself against, so. There we go, this castle's going down very soon. This castle's going down very soon. And Vinchester calls it right away. TaToH is just cruising the semifinals over here from Double Cup 3. Looking at the scenery and just enjoying the trip, man. Smooth ride from TaToH so far. Vinchester down by 2 already. Will only be able to come back over here by getting a full reverse sweep. So we're jumping into game number 3, and it's already going to be match point. Damn. So let's take a look at the stats over here one more time. We're gonna see first off for TaToH, a better KD by quite a lot as well. It's about 7-4. We see for economy, a stronger economy for TaToH. In addition to that, by quite a lot as well, about 6,000 extra resources. In addition to that, for society, we have a higher worker max count for Vinchester. Did not make too much of a difference. It was mostly towards the end of the game that he was able to get ahead in workers. But if you take a look at economy over here, TaToH was always ahead. Despite the fact that Vinchester was able to get ahead in worker count at the end, TaToH was able to make use of his own military units to make the economy from Vinchester fairly inefficient. So well played. TaToH 2, Vinchester 0. There we go. For quarters, no Hindustan is a mirror matchup over here, no. It's going to be Vinchester playing with Japanese instead. Now, we already saw this matchup specifically in the past. If I'm not mistaken, I think the last time around that we saw Hindustanis face a different civilization, it was Japanese. Now, Hindustanis came out on top that time around, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see if Vinchester will be able to make better use of the Japanese here. Going for the civilization, starting with TaToH's first. The reason Hindustanis are such a popular civilization for a map like this is the villager discount. with 10, 20, actually 10, 15, 20, and 25% cheaper villagers in the Dark Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages, TaToH Civilization is going to be one of the strongest civs to go for full boom. And as you start with 4 TCs from the get-go, villager production is going to be very strong. Savings are going to be great for Hindustanis. And it's the reason, I think the main reason why we see the civilization be utilized for this map more often than not. Besides that, we also get for TaToH Civilization 25% faster attacking camel rider units. +1/+1 armor on gunpowder units, and then for the team bonus, we'll see for them 2 bonus damage against buildings from camel rider units, as well as light cavalry and hussar units as well. Quadruple Michi, you could look at it like that, probably, yeah. It's a very interesting map for sure, conceptually, and in terms of execution, it's actually very nice because it's each quarter is going to have a different type of resource. Up in the north, we have land-based food sources. With herdables, we have sheep, huntables, we have boars and deer. As well as foraging, we have berries, right? Each player is going to have, in addition to all of that, the starting gold. And then down south, we are going to have the starting goals as well for HTC, but we have water-based food sources over here, so it's going to be full-on deep fish. I don't know if there are different types of fish over here. I think it's just the same. I think it's, what is it, tuna? No, yeah, I think it's tuna, isn't it? Oh, it's salmon. Wait, isn't salmon supposed to be pinkish? It seems like tuna to me. Am I getting scammed by the game? Regardless, it's going to be deep fish over here, so it's fantastic source of food. And then on the left-hand side, there in the starting gold, we are going to have only stone for the players. The right-hand side, only gold. It's T90 food. T90 is very keen on salmon, isn't he? Still want to see a game finish 2-2 with players having to cut through. So you like to see a series where 4 quarters is the decider map and the players managed to cut through. I think the closest we got to anybody actually getting through the wood was the game that we cast a few days ago. But in the end, it was not possible, actually, I think. I think it was Dragon Stars. Dragon Stars said. Anyway. Oh, right. One player wins 2 quadrants, and the other player wins the other 2 quadrants. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. True. We haven't gotten to that so far. I thought T90 food was weirdly plays farms. As well, yeah, that's going to be game food. But I think in real life he's quite keen on salmon. I don't know though. I am not up to snuff for T90 trivia, if I have to be honest. So do not take my probably made up knowledge over here too seriously. Is all terrain farmable? Yes, you can go for farms everywhere. Vinchester, he's gonna be playing with Japanese now. This civilization we talked about already in game number 2, right? We saw it from TaToH as well, so we are not going to reintroduce it. The same bonuses are going to apply. 2 of those bonuses are not going to be relevant because we do not have any water over here. However, we can talk a little bit about how this game goes. And on this map, we have seen usually the same flow for every game that we have seen over here. It seems to have almost kind of a defined meta already. The way it goes is players go up to the fuel age. As you do, of course. And the first piece of action is going to usually take place down the south, where players are going to try and make use of some sort of navy to go forward and put pressure. It can be demolition rafts, but not necessarily. We have also seen players make use of galleys in the past to great success. At the very beginning, it was demolition rafts when the meta was not quite as established and the players were not going for the walls early, right? But now you can see the TaToH's going for the preemptive walls. And Vinchester, kind of, he's not completely walled himself yet, so TaToH might be able to make a play for demos. Let's take a look at his point of view. He knows that Vinchester is still open, so he can make a play for demos. He's gonna be in the village very soon. He's got double dogs over here to produce from. Yeah, and he's getting some good vision over here. Demos for TaToH. On the way. Come on, man, you know you want to do it. Yes, sir! We have TaToH going for demos, and so far he's been able to make use of demos incredibly well. In game number 2, rather. Gonna see if he can get any damage done over here. He doesn't know about these villages down south. It'll be wise from TaToH to try and approach from the south where he has not scouted yet, just in case. And then he would find a juicy shot over there. Vinchester, if he wanted to make a play for Navy, he would have to go for something else, of course, because TaToH is completely walled up already. And he's going for fire galleys. After the game stabilizes down the south, usually, we're going to see either in the west or east quarters of the map, 4 castles come up, as the players already begin collecting stone quite heavily from the left-hand side. And let's take a look. Where demos, man? Why is TaToH not going forward? This seems like such a missed opportunity. Is he gonna wait until he gets to demolition ships, perhaps? Going for the war galley upgrade. I don't know. I mean, maybe he thought there were not enough exposed economy, or there was not enough exposed economy from Vinchester for him to try and pursue the demo aggression. If he had spotted the villagers down the south, maybe he would have been able to make something happen over there, but yeah. We are past 100 population for both these players, less than 13 minutes into the game. That is the way it goes, yes. The quadruple TC start, so long as both players are able to keep their TCs going, it's going to result in a very quick boom. So usually less than 15-16 minutes into the game, the players have already gotten to their villager max and are going to start making a transition to military production. It's going to begin by getting 4 castles up as soon as they get to the castle age, and it's going to continue by... Yeah, okay, TaToH's going for a castle over here, and Vinchester on the left-hand side is going to try to go for the 4 castle. This is what I advocate for. What Vinchester is going for, I think, in my opinion, is the way to go. Because there's only stone available on the left-hand side, if you're able to prevent your opponent from collecting the stone over here on the left, you're going to be the only player with access to castles. At the very least, in a cost-effective manner, right? So Vinchester is going to be the first one to get this one up over here. If we take a look, the red player could potentially go for another castle over here on the left-hand side, take advantage of the hill over there, and potentially another castle over here on the right-hand side. There is no hill over here for him to take advantage of, but he would still be able to deny basically all the golds except for these 2 from the bull player. And that is huge, because then what does TaToH do everywhere else, right? Vinchester can go for this. He can get away with the 4 castles elsewhere. There we go. TaToH realizes about the castle coming up. He's sending a camel over here to try and deny the castle. I don't think it's gonna be able to. This one is coming up already 75%. A lot of villagers left over here, and only a camel for TaToH to work with in the scout. So Vinchester gets the quick walls up over here, and he'll be able to get the castle up no matter what. So TaToH's gonna start going for some ramps, I would imagine. Down the south. Oh, big shot! TaToH takes 4, 5, 6 villagers! 6 villagers down with a single demo over there, and we just switch to the right place at the right time. And I was wondering what TaToH was going to do with those demos. He was indeed waiting for the war galley upgrade to turn those into demolition ships. And that was a big one. And he's trying to come in once again. He's gotta be careful. He does take another villager down. Takes the gate down as well, so he can keep on coming in. Navy production down the south is extremely important. You can take the TC down pretty easily with a few fire ships and some war galleys. So it definitely makes sense for TaToH to try and commit over here, for sure. But once again though, elsewhere, he doesn't seem to be in the best spot. Over here on the left-hand side, Vinchester's the only player with a 4 castle. Up in the north, he's the only player with a 4 castle. And TaToH starts to go for the armor elephants already, which is what I was referring to earlier when I said rams. For TaToH, it's going to be armor elephants, so should be able to take care of that castle very soon in any case. There you are. Yeah. And TaToH's coming out on top over here. Going around, taking the fishing ships down. And then up in the north. He's getting pushed away. Yeah. He's going for the third Armor Elephant. He's got both DCs over here garrisoned, so his economy is not in the best shape. And here comes Vinchester. He's going for Samurai. Usually the way you see this, because it's usually Hindustani's mirror is the Golem, right? But Samurai over here are actually a much stronger unit. Hey, Rosa. Yes. Streaming right now. We have to cast the 2 sets from today. And that is a beautiful castle position for sure for Vinchester. Probably would have preferred for him to go for a little bit of a more aggressive castle on the left-hand side instead, so he will be able to deny these stones. But with the Samurai already coming out, I guess TaToH is going to be out of stone anyway very soon. Blue player seems to be the first guy to pursue the Imperial Age. He's going to be going up very soon. Meanwhile, Vinchester has done a really good job. Everywhere, putting pressure against TaToH. Oh, the Armor Elephants went down. Right. Next double cap, you have a different civ every map quarter. That'll be an interesting one, yeah. Vinchester is going for yet another castle, and once again though, on the right hand side over here, extremely aggressive. TaToH was very close, so having enough to go up now, he's going for extra villagers. Extra military units, doesn't have enough resources to pursue the Imperial Age anymore. And Vinchester's looking really good. He has the most military units right now. And actually goes for an even more aggressive on the right hand side, a more aggressive castle on the right hand side. Fantastic. There we go. Hey guys, hi, welcome. And Vinchester is unlikely to get this castle up over here, but TaToH is pulling a lot of villagers out to deny this one, so it's not particularly great. Vinchester is only going to commit a few villagers trying to get the castle up. If it gets denied, it's not the end of the world. Vinchester still has enough stone to go for another castle elsewhere. And this one was not really going to deny too much of anything anyway. You could potentially go for one close to the outpost on the right hand side, close to the gold on the left hand side on the hill. And then on the left hand side, the Samurai coming over, getting villages down. Yeah, and TaToH seems like he might end up taking the first L over here in game number 3. Fortunately, the players at this stage of the game already have managed to get as many villages as they need to for the most part. TaToH's still going for more. Vinchester still going for more. But you do not need to worry about your economy quite as much, in the sense that you do not need to worry about placing farms, luring boars, that kind of stuff, right? So you can just focus on full military. And so far, it's actually favored Vinchester quite a bit. You take a look at his economy, and if he used the market, Vinchester would actually be able to go up to the Imperial Age already. He takes the DC down on the left-hand side, he's coming forward with more rams. Here we go. Slowly but surely, Vinchester's push on the left-hand side continues. On the right-hand side, TaToH's been able to stabilize for the time being. And while it seems like the game is going in favor of Vinchester just because how many fortifications he's got up around the map, TaToH has managed to stabilize in such a way that now Vinchester's castles aren't really achieving too much just yet, and he'll need to get out to the Imperial Age. He'll need to take the castles down from TaToH, the defensive castles down from TaToH, in order to secure his seemingly favorable positions up in the north and then in the west and the east as well. TaToH's gonna try to make a play for the Imperial Age, and Vinchester as well. Both players going up at almost the exact same time. On a game like this, it's nothing short of remarkable. And TaToH is not clicking up yet. He's got hundreds of extra resources already. What is going on? Is he trying to figure out which TC to click up to the Imperial Age with? Is he paying attention elsewhere? I don't see anything happening anywhere that would delay TaToH this much. But he does click up in the end, and still going to be a significant lead for Vinchester, mind you, about 31 seconds. Earlier uptime. That's going to be about it. There we go. Fantastic. Imperial is on the way for both these guys still. TaToH. Significantly outproduced for castles though. Up in the north we have 2 castles from Vinchester. Should be able to go for more trebuchets than TaToH's ever going to be able to go for. On the right hand side, TaToH was able to push Vinchester away from his base. But Vinchester's going for 2 castles over here, so he'll still be able to outproduce TaToH, who's got only 1 castle on the right hand side. Down the south, it's going to be 1 for TaToH, 1 for Vinchester, so it's going to be kind of a wash. And then on the left hand side, we have 2 for Vinchester and 1 for TaToH. So in 3 out of 4 quarters, Vinchester's got a much better position to go for trebuchets. And he tried to make the play over here for petards, but TaToH paying attention. Took the petards down before Vinchester had a chance of taking the castle down over here. And now Vinchester, as soon as he gets to the Imperial Age, goes for plate mail armor, +3, +4 for infantry. And he's got conscription on the way. An elite samurai coming out right now as well. Chunkers have kind of saved TaToH on the right hand side. If it weren't because of it, Vinchester will be in an even better position, an even stronger position. Second castle on the way in the left hand side for TaToH. Third castle on the way for Vinchester. I'm talking about castle count over here as if the players had unlimited resources. Truth be told, Vinchester cannot really produce as many trebuchets as I thought he might have wanted to go for. Like over here on the left hand side, he's got 1, 2 trebuchets coming out. That's good, right? But then on the right hand side, he's got no trebuchets coming out whatsoever. And then up in the north, he is able to produce from both these castles. So he should be able to take the castle down over here from TaToH. Should be able to take the castles over here from TaToH as well. So Vinchester seems as if he's going to end up getting control of the north and west quarters as well. But TaToH starts to get the raids going on the right hand side. And he's getting a lot of damage done over here. Vinchester does not seem to be paying attention. These Ghulam coming in already managed to get 15 villagers. Vinchester will end up losing a lot more than this if he doesn't realize, and it seems like he doesn't realize at all, and that is a lot of economy over here from Vinchester completely exposed. He does realize about it now, but too late. With his Ghulam already taking close to 20 workers, Vinchester falls behind in worker count, and TaToH being in the Imperial Age, he's actually gonna be able to hold on over here by the looks of it. Won't he? Left hand side has got the trebuchets. He needs to take the castles down, plus the armor elephants, so he could potentially go and take the trebuchets down next. But he'll most likely end up losing his own castles as well. Right hand side, he was one putting pressure for sure. It's got some cavalry archers coming out now, interestingly enough. But Hindustan is not the best unit to go for. But yeah, Ghulam get completely obliterated by Samurai, so it's understandable for him to try and go for something range. Probably would have preferred for him to go for hand cannoneer instead, but that wouldn't have given him the mobility that he needs, right? But yeah, on the left hand side, while TaToH is able to take the castles down, he's lost his own defenses. Cannot garrison the villages anywhere anymore. And he got very close, very, very close to chopping through. Might be able to do it in the end from the south over to the left. But these villagers, they are going down, man. TaToH could potentially try to get some walls up over here just to try and prevent the villagers from going down, right? Something like this. Right? Something like this would be good. And then he would be able to save the majority of the villagers over there. Right hand side. Gus comes out from Vinchester, preventing TaToH from chopping through. TaToH gets a tower up over here, preventing Vinchester from chopping through. The tower's going down very soon. And then up in the north, TaToH's in a world of pain. Lost the castle. Lost the TC. Doesn't really have any defenses for his economy over here anymore. And how many villages do we have for the bull player, actually? He's got only 7 villages up in the north, so he might end up losing the quarter over there. It's not going to be the end of the world. Down the south, it's going to end up losing the villages over here. And he's got a total of 8 villages. So that's going to be 15 villages between the north and west quarters that TaToH's going to lose. And it's not too bad. The problem for the bull player is that he's not really been able to get quarter control on the right hand side on the south, unfortunately. There we go. Guess it's going down in Vinchester. Doesn't seem to be fighting over the east anymore. Well, this also makes a big difference. Because if you do not have presence on the right hand side whatsoever, you're only going to have as much gold as you have the starting golds in each quarter, right? But if you get pushed away from those, or if you end up running out of those, the right hand side is the only place where you're actually going to be able to keep on collecting gold in the long term. So TaToH's definitely not out of the game at all. He's bringing the hand cannoneer over. I like this much better. And cavalry archers, not to say that Vinchester's got any pressure coming out from the right hand side anymore anyway. But there we go. Replay is just going to try and delay the villages going down a little bit more. Going for towers over here is just going to buy him a little bit of time. But with the bombard cannon and the trebuchet, TaToH is taking the TC down really quickly. Should be able to take the towers down over here extremely quickly as well. And while Vinchester is getting the tower up over here, he's not really paying attention, so he's going to end up losing the villages anyway. And TaToH will get the first quarter under his belt over here on the right hand side. Yes, sir. DC goes down, tower goes down soon after. And this tower is going to go down as well. So we have nothing left on the right hand side for Vinchester to work with. Samurai going down to the hand cannoneer, of course. There we go. Beautiful. Tower crumbles very soon. Only 5 villages left over there for Vinchester. You gotta appreciate the instinct of these players just trying to save villages when it's quite clearly lost already. Like on the right hand side, he won't be able to come back against TaToH in this position, but he still tries. Tries to save the villages for as long as he can. Down the south, it's going to be TaToH the one putting pressure as well. And well, you want to see this, our base, and we got it. We got it. It's going to be 2 quarters for each player, and they will have to chop through. Towards the east over here, we'll see Vinchester chop through very soon. TaToH. Well, TaToH should be ready. Then on the left-hand side, it's actually cut through. Vinchester's cut with the Ranger over here, which was also another possibility, of course, and he's gonna start sending some of the samurai down the south. Meanwhile, TaToH doesn't seem to realize about this, at the very least not yet. He's not really been paying too much attention by the looks of it. Now all the units are completely out of position. He's trying to get control of the south. But now he's gonna be pinched though. He's gonna be pinched. Finally, the villagers from TaToH will go down up in the north. Let's take a look at the shot over there. Good shot from TaToH. And he's trying to get the honor down. He's going to get it. Hold on. Misclick from TaToH. Needed to target the samurai, but let's take a look at this. Here come the trebuchets from Vinchester, though. This has turned into a more standard 1v1 already. And it's very interesting because TaToH is kind of pinched by Vinchester from the left and right hand side down south. But the moment TaToH is able to cut through over here and he's going for mangonels, onagers, already he's gotten the upgrade, so he's going for onagers, he's going to be able to cut through. he is gonna be the one pinching Vinchester. And he seems to be in a much better position over here on the right-hand side and down the south than Vinchester is down the south and on the left-hand side. So it seems to me as if TaToH should be able to get a better trade over here. To get a better end of the deal, so to say. We have Onager coming out for TaToH. Yeah, my bad, by the way. I saw this and I got confused because of TaToH being on the right-hand side. TaToH was going for Onager, yes. So now he needs to go for the Onager over here, cut through, and then come in. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of pinched by Vinchester, and he is already. Interestingly enough, though, TaToH's actually started to push back. Up in the north. Doesn't have any stone anymore. Could potentially buy some and get a TC up over here. Try to reclaim the north. And it's working pretty well. Vinchester's got just Samurai over here, so those do go down to the hand cannoneer. To be honest, TaToH doesn't technically need Onager. We have such a small connection over here. We have such a narrow forest over here that he could just make use of trebuchets alone, right? And just cut the trees individually and just come in. Comes the Onager from Vinchester. Should be able to take care of this trebuchet, and he will. TaToH. TaToH's still very much alive down the south, but Vinchester's pressure over here is certainly going to get stronger by the minute, so it looks a lot more uneventful right now compared to just a few minutes ago, doesn't it? Certainly does. There we go. Yeah, I can't believe TaToH's actually able to push Vinchester back up in the north. A little housing crisis for TaToH over here. The 165 population space. He's got 178 units out. More hand cannoneer coming out, and this is just going to be a game of hand cannoneer versus samurai. And Vinchester doesn't seem to be making a play for anything else. He's only now starting to go for Arbalaster, but this took so long. This took so long, and TaToH with a single unit army composition has actually been able to get so much damage done. And once again with a mid-click, TaToH will still not clean out the samurai because of the castle. He's got a parade over here of units. But yeah, he was not paying attention for too long. And Vinchester's getting castles up on the right-hand side. This is incredible. Remember, I said it's amazing to see how the players at this level just have this instinct to keep the villagers up, you know, as long as possible. And Vinchester was actually able to make something happen with these 4 remaining villagers over here, and I can't believe it. Both these castles will allow him to go for more samurai. It's not the unit that I think he needs right now, but if he had just a few extra minutes over here to work with, the villagers would have been able to get the siege workshops up. They would have been able to get some extra buildings up. He would have been able to go for extra archer ranges, try to make a play for arbalesters potentially. But now TaToH realized about this. He's going to clean this up. Meanwhile, down the south, TaToH's economy is crumbling. As Vinchester is still 200 population, TaToH has not taken the time to get the walls up, so these lumberjacks are completely exposed. It's going to be up in the north, where TaToH could potentially reclaim the quarter, but so far it's not been possible for him. He doesn't have quite as many hand cannoneers he needs against the samurai over here. Down the south, yeah, it seems like it's going to be Vinchester the one to get full control, and this feels like a wasted opportunity because TaToH was looking stronger in the east and the south over here. If he had just got through over here with the trebuchet, he would have been able to come forward with his military from the south and his military from the east, and he would have been able to pinch Vinchester. He would have been able to completely clean the red player up. But now it's Vinchester, the one with momentum. He's not the only player over here controlling the crossing between the south and east quarters, but he's been able to defend himself successfully up in the north as well. TaToH struggled to keep on pushing over here, and Vinchester, being the only player with access to stone, is going to be able to go for more castles. He'll be able to get the fortifications up. for as long as he wants to. And TaToH instead, yeah, TaToH's just playing catch up over here, and it's extremely difficult for him. Still a house situation over here for the Bull player. 170 population. Capacity, 163 population. Currently. We go. Now he should be able to take care of the Arbalesters, the Samurai. Seems like Vinchester is finally losing the north corner. But he's gaining ground on the right-hand side. And while TaToH's gone for Onager for the upgrade, and he's got some Onager to work with on the right-hand side. He's never actually made use of those, other than to push Vinchester over here in the corner. And it's very interesting to see how both these players seem to be taking the game kind of slowly. So this gets very, very hectic. As soon as you get to the castle age or so, and the players start putting pressure everywhere at once. But then you get to the later stages of the game, and now it's looking significantly slower compared to before. Let's see. TaToH still just hand cannoneer, 52 right now. Vinchester. Samurai for the most part. It's got Arbalesters. TaToH cannot make a play for Arbalesters, so he definitely wants to keep the Onager alive over here to fight the Arbalesters off. Good unit control for TaToH, using the trebuchet over there to soak damage from the Arbalesters. Take the Arbalesters down on the right hand side. Trebuchet should be going down to the hand cannoneer as well, and it will. The Onager will go down as well to the hand cannoneer. Now we have only Samurai left for Vinchester on the right hand side. TaToH shouldn't really defend. Shouldn't really struggle to defend over here too much, given the amount of hand cannoneer he's got. And then up in the north, he's still struggling to take the castle down. He's got only one bombard cannon left, but he's going after it. He's going after the castle now, finally. Here we are. Fantastic. Vinchester's push on the right hand side over here is getting stronger. He's got some of the Onagers left. TaToH over here putting a lot of pressure. TaToH deletes the DC over there, I think. No, that was the trebuchet taken down. The DC. There's no reason for TaToH to do that. He's going for extra DCs up in the north, however. Should be able to take this castle down. And he will. Eventually, you gotta be careful though. We have skirmishes over here. Samurai approaching. He is paying attention though, by the looks of it. Yes, sir. And the Samurai will get taken down. However, he will end up losing one bombard cannon to Red's units. And it's stabilized. It's stabilized. We have a little bit of a stagnant game over here a little bit. But once again, TaToH, the only player with access to gold. Vinchester, I mean, well, with a good amount of gold, right? Vinchester still has the starting golds in the other quarters, so over here he will be able to collect from here. Over here he will be able to take what TaToH left, right? And up in the north he's got some still. He's not collecting from this yet, mind you. But yeah. More hand cannoneer coming up for TaToH, the only thing he's going for ever. So we know that we have 2 quarters for Vinchester, right? Completely under his control. And TaToH is actually contested in the east. And he's looking a little bit stronger up in the north, but he's not gotten full control of this yet. So Vinchester is positionally speaking in a much better position where he's got 2 guaranteed quarters. This one with the stone as well. And then TaToH on the other hand, he's got not even a single one. Samurai coming out from Vinchester over here has managed to mass a good amount of units. He's sending those up to the north, the right hand side base of TaToH. Might be able to find the lumberjacks over here. Might be able to find the gold miners. We'll see. TaToH's trying to hold on. He's taking the castle down. He's going to do it. There we go. Still though, hand cannoneer only for TaToH against skirmishers over here. Vinchester's been able to get pretty decent trades overall because of it. There we are. TaToH's pushing Vinchester out of the right hand side and up in the north. Now Vinchester is coming forward again with skirmishers alone. He seems to be in a very good position. The castle does go down though up in the north from Vinchester as well. So now he's got just archer ranges. He's going for more. He doesn't have a DC anymore. So Vinchester is going to try to pull the same thing he did on the right hand side. But just keeping the villagers safe. Right? Trying to survive with these villagers as long as possible. And then he'll be able to make use of these in the future. And actually let's not even talk about the future. He's making use of these right now. Going for the extra archer ranges over here. And the castle on the way. Now Vinchester will try to survive up in the north once again. Meanwhile, on the right hand side over here, TaToH. TaToH starts to get raided to death. Doesn't seem to realize about this on time anyway. He's got some Hussar coming out. Extra HP for these guys? No, that's for Mongols. The Hussar for TaToH are going to have, however, 2 bonus damage against buildings. There we go. TaToH realizes about this. He's probably going to realize about the castle coming up in the north at some point. And it'll be great if TaToH could send some of these units. Oh, take a look though! The samurai stream down the south from Vinchester. Marching towards the right hand side. TaToH is getting swarmed over here. He's getting overpowered a little bit. Doesn't have a single gold miner despite having the most units on the right hand side over here because of Vinchester's incredible resilience. Chicas is coming up in the north. Vinchester is not going to give up this quarter either. And TaToH seems to be kind of running out of ground a little bit. Still in a decent population, and compared to Vinchester, it's not too bad considering the fact that Vinchester is not pop capped right now. It's not the worst for TaToH still, but he's losing ground over here steadily. I like to see the Hussar coming out so that he'll be able to fight the skirmishers off. That's going to provide also a nice meat shield to prevent the samurai from closing the gap against the hand cannoneer, right? Does TaToH have shit technique, by the way? He's got it, yeah. There we go. Trish is actually getting some big shots over here against the bombard cannons. TaToH is definitely just scrambling on the right hand side. Still close in population though for both these guys. And let's see if TaToH knows about the castles. He knows about the castles. He's going up the north now with a hand cannoneer, the bombard cannons, and this is it. He's got the Hussar on the right hand side. He's got vision of the rest of the quarter over here. So he might be able to take this down, and he's going to completely push Vinchester out of the north. However, it's not the end of it for TaToH. He cannot catch a break over here. Vinchester is very, very close to it. He's done it now. Chop through the left-hand side and get access to the north. And we are 1 hour and 8 minutes into this game. And while TaToH is still competitive for population over here overall, all things considered, he is definitely on the back foot. Realize about the tower coming up over here. He's gonna try to deny it. He's got the Hussar coming up. There we go. Even sending a villager over here. But the tower's coming up for sure. And Vinchester is gonna try to go for more. Wouldn't be able to do too much over here. So I think TaToH's going to be fine. However, it's once again the same situation, right? that we have seen on the right hand side. Vinchester was able to sustain his push for much longer, and TaToH is simply unable to hold on over here whatsoever. How many initial villages in this crazy map? Standard amount, 3 per TC if I'm not mistaken. But by the time you get to 11, 12 minutes into the game, players are usually on 100 or over 100 population, so it's very, very quick. Still. Yeah, and Vinchester. Vinchester is just in such a good spot over here. And this is something that I'm not really sure if I like too much about this map or not. The fact that each quadrant is going to have starting gold. So despite the fact that Vinchester got completely pushed away from the right hand side, where it's got the most gold in the map, right? He was able to push TaToH away from some of the other quadrants. He was able to collect the gold that TaToH left behind. And he was able to sustain his push, despite the fact that he did not have access to the gold quadrant, right? I think it's probably better. I think it's probably for the better. Because otherwise, that plays extreme importance on the right-hand side quarter, perhaps. And TaToH still, though, staying somewhat competitive for population, but it seems like he's going to get completely pushed away from the right-hand side. Yeah. Vinchester's push over here is fantastic. TaToH. He's got a somewhat small amount of army to work with, especially compared to Vinchester, right? TaToH's got a lot of extra workers, but he's got so much fewer units. And it's looking over, guys. It's looking like this game is slipping through the fingers over here for TaToH. While he looks stronger in some positions, he looks stronger in some situations. He's traveled big time and it doesn't seem like he's gonna be able to take this one. So Vinchester, well, Vinchester gets the first win in the series with this game. Or he's going to get it in a moment. TaToH then is gonna have to try again in game number 4. There we go. GG says TaToH, well played. All right. Let's take a look at the achievements then. Before jumping into game number 4, what do we get? We're gonna see better KD in the end for TaToH. Actually, very, very close to 9 to 8. A little bit lower than that. A little bit higher than that, actually. Very close to 7 to 5. For economy, we have a stronger economy for Vinchester, collecting about 2,200 extra resources. Higher worker max count, as well as the fewest villager losses. And TaToH, man! He's got cheaper villagers, yes, but you cannot really make up for losing 397 villagers over here. Almost 400 villagers going down throughout the game for TaToH compared to Vinchester. Vinchester was, of course, losing a lot of villagers himself as well, but not anywhere near as much. Only 186. Let's go back then. And let's take a look at what we get for game number 4. So much stone, so much gold as well, of course. The players, in the end, the gold is going to be higher for TaToH. And you probably were expecting this. But the stone is just ridiculously good for Vinchester. And there we go, guys. Welcome everyone then to game number 4 in the series. We'll see for the blue player for TaToH, Malians, and for Vinchester, the red player, Berbers. One moment once again, sorry. Alright. So, yeah, besides that, this map, we haven't really seen too much of in the past. But it's an interesting one. Hey, Cliffy! Hi, welcome. Taking a look at the civilization, starting with the Bull player civilization first. TaToH's going to get first off. With Malians. 30% longer lasting golds. It's going to have in addition to that 1 extra Pierce Armor and Barracks units per H. Starting with the Fuel H up to the Imperial H +3. Besides that, we also see for Malians a 15% wood discount on buildings. On top of that, for Malians, we're gonna see... There we go. We're gonna see for them also, for the team bonus, 80% faster work in university, so upgrades do come in a little bit faster from that building, and a lot faster actually. And then for Vinchester, Vinchester is playing with Berbers, which means 20% cheaper. Stable unit production in the Castle and Imperial Ages, and we also have for Berbers 10% faster moving villagers, so we could see some aggression over here from Vinchester early on. Try to send the villagers forward, try to put some pressure up. And then in addition to that, we'll have for Berbers also for the team bonus, access to Janitor. For this map, for anybody who might not be familiar with it, it's going to be kind of like slopes for elevation, if you remember that from past editions of Hidden Cup. It's going to be kind of like slopes. And that means that we have a valley at the center, right? And then we have elevations to the sides. Now, this is called double riverbed because this is technically not as much of a valley as a dry river. So we are going to have some fish over here left. So it's not completely dried, right? But we have some fish over here available for the players to collect. We're going to have, in addition to that, gold at the very center as well. So this would have been technically, I guess, on the surface, right? If this was actually filled with water. I'm actually not really sure the gold would have been underneath the water surface or if it would have been on top. Maybe it's kind of like a Golden Island, if you remember that one from previous editions of the Open Needle Cup. So far, pretty uneventful. We are not really expecting to see much of anything over here early on, especially as with double TC start, the players are usually keen on fast castling, right? We could potentially get some damage done if we just went up to the Fuel H a little bit earlier and started to go for some scouts, because you know that at the center there is no wood almost. You're going to be always open, so there will be some exposed villagers. But if the players tried to make a play for the Fuel H, we would have already seen at the very least one of these guys already click out to the Fuel H. All right. There we go. TaToH. He's gonna be on his way to the Fuel H very soon, and so will Vinchester. We're gonna see both these players try to make a play for the Castle H. And the Bull players struggled a little bit to keep up. A little bit more compared to Vinchester. He's got right now 2 minutes of idle TC time compared to Vinchester. Well, Vinchester's got only 1 minute and 17 seconds of idle TC time, so it's looking a little bit better for Vinchester, and that is why he's got 2 extra workers over here. In the end, though, both these guys are going up to the Fuel H, and they will be on their way to the Castle H very soon, and Vinchester seems to be the only player trying to get the walls up. But take a look at this, though. What is Vinchester going for? He's walling the whole map. On the right-hand side, it's going to be connecting the wood lines, and because the wood lines are, for the most part, connected to the edge of the map, the only area in which he's still going to be open is going to be over here. Okay, there we go. He's going for Yeah, he's going for the wall, so he's going to be completely closed off, right? Right? It's going to get access to this wall line. It's going to get access to this wall line. The gold, the stone is going to be safe. That is not a good circle. There we go. It's going to be safe. Meanwhile, for TaToH, on the other hand. Yeah, he's going for just some local walls over here around the lumberjacks. Could potentially go for something similar around the gold miners, right? But yeah, village is here for both these guys. Castle should be on the way very soon, and Vinchester has got a stable on the way. TaToH's going forward, trying to look for trouble, and Vinchester says, "Come on, me boy." TaToH get the hill advantage over there, though. Will end up getting the first scout over there. That's so close, though. In the end, Vinchester manages to turn the fight around. A few extra hits over there when he was able to get the hill. Ends up chunking a lot of HP off TaToH's units and getting a hit. As expected, both these players will be going after the Castle Age. We are just waiting for the blacksmith to come up over here for Vinchester. We are waiting for TaToH to get the blacksmith up. He already got it, actually, so he's just lacking some resources, but he's on his way to the Castle Age now. And Vinchester just has to wait a little bit more, right? He's going right now for TaToH, and he's gonna be on his way to the Castle Age. There we go. About 20-second head start, 20.5-second head start for TaToH to the Castle Age. Oh, wait, what happened? Vinchester canceled the Castle Age. Why did he cancel the Castle Age? It wasn't really a big difference. Now it's going to be a little bit more. 33 seconds earlier, TaToH's gonna be there. And yeah, I'm not 100% sure what happened over there, what Vinchester was thinking about. There we go. Yeah, good reaction for Vinchester. He's going to keep the walls up. He was trying to expand this, by the way. It's not really expanded because this is disconnected from his main base. But yeah, now he's going to have basically the entirety of the right-hand side. As a matter of fact, if he went for some very, very small walls over here, it should be in a pretty decent spot, right? Yeah. He will have the entirety of it available. So Castle Age is here for TaToH indeed. He's got a monastery coming up, 30C on the way. With double stables already, he should be able to start producing the knights, but he's not going for it just yet. He realized that Vinchester is completely walled back home. So if he was to go for knights, he would only be able to put pressure around the river TC, right? From Vinchester. Notice also how very, very smart these players are. They have been prioritizing using the center TCs. That is why Vinchester, now it makes sense. That is why Vinchester cancelled the Castle Age, because he had queued the Castle Age from this C. And he cancelled it in order to research it with this C. And he's taken the time to go for all the upgrades like Town Watch. He's gone for Wheelbarrow from the center TC. Because you are so exposed over here and you don't have too many resources, he wants to minimize the amount of villagers he goes for from the center, and that's been the case also for TaToH. So I think that's why Vinchester retasked or actually had to research again the Castle Age, right? He just had to retask the TC. What are these walls? These walls are keeping Vinchester safe for the time being and prevented TaToH from going for double stable for production. It's got a 30C on the way, Vinchester that is, but TaToH already got the 30C up. TaToH already got the 40C up though. Wow. So yeah, remember that after this series is over, we're gonna be taking a look at the Viper versus Dark for the lower brackets. Next round set. It's going to be technically, I think it's going to be lower brackets for semifinal. Here we go. Take a look at that, the camels from Vinchester for cheaper. Struggling over here though. Yeah, and TaToH's going to push these away. Hey, Daniela, thank you so much for the rates. Very much appreciated. Welcome, welcome. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. We are casting game number... This is my bad, by the way. Completely forgot to update the score. We are casting game number 4. It's 2-1 in favor of TaToH so far, and Vinchester. Vinchester's trying to stay alive in the series over here. This is the upper bracket semifinal that we were missing to see. Yeah. Welcome. We're streaming in English. I wonder because Daniela is usually... Or at the very least, I think I know Daniela as a name in Spanish for the most part. I don't think I have seen it in any other languages. I might be off though. Should that stream in English? Yeah? Alright, okay, perfect then. No conversion coming up. Vinchester takes the monk down. Does end up losing one camel to the conversion, but now he's able to take the second monk down and the convert the camel as well, so TaToH's still looking alright. Vinchester still looking alright. Daniela is Italian, like, is that so? Romanian, I believe. Right, you see, I've seen that name in Spanish so many times, but I haven't seen it in any other languages, so good to know that it's actually present in other languages as well. I think in English would be like Danielle, right? Or something like that. There's a Colombian Daniela. I'm Romanian, but I live in Portugal. I don't speak Portuguese, so English is my second. Right, okay. Live in Portugal and you didn't speak Portuguese. How is that going for you? You know, I'm making plans and hopefully everything's going to pan out and I would like to move to Europe next year. And if that works out, well, I'm gonna have to learn a language of whatever country I end up moving to. I think it's probably going to be Germany, but I was always wondering maybe if I can just be lazy and get away with the English. Could I do that? There we go. A cast is coming out for Vinchester. The center. And TaToH. TaToH's trying to put pressure over there. He needs to get some pressure going over here, because if he does not get center presence, it's going to be so much harder for him to try and knock the castle down in later stages of the game. And we have seen this in Gold Rush, right? When casting the Grand Melee in Warlords, not the Grand Melee actually. Yeah, and we're going to see that be the case over here as well. That's a lot of monks from TaToH though. Does end up pushing Vinchester away. Overall, the numbers over here are favoring still the bull players, so TaToH's looking better. Vinchester gets pushed back. TaToH is on his way to the Imperial Age, but so is Vinchester. The only difference over here between these players is the population. TaToH's looking stronger for workers and for military. It's gonna be the first player to get to Trebuchets also, I think. It's very close actually. It's only a small difference, about 3 seconds or so. So not too much. You could, but you won't get to know any Germans, and we will heavily judge you. I was just wondering, but I think no matter what country I move to, I'm going to end up learning the language, just out of respect, right? I would probably be annoyed if somebody moved over here and just spoke English. First off, they probably wouldn't be able to get away with it because not a whole lot of people in Argentina speak English. But yeah, it'll be also kind of annoying. You can go to the Netherlands, everyone speaks English. There is an Argentinian guy who works at the Blender Foundation. Blender is a piece of software for 3D modeling, and he went over there and he, to this day, I think he's been there for over 10 years or so already. And to this day, actually more than 10 years. And to this day, the guy does not speak Dutch. He's just spoken English this whole time. Fantastic. Imperial is going to be here in about 30 seconds for both these players. We are expected to see trebuchets come up. The good thing about TaToH's position is that this castle is too far away from the center for Vinchester to take advantage of the hill over here and take it down faster, while, of course, that's also going to come at the cost of him not being able to protect the trebuchets with the castle when he tries to take the castle down for Vinchester as well, so we'll see. Know what the Legoland's fund? What is more expensive, by the way? What's price here? Germany. The reason I thought about it is because it's very up the north, so should be a little bit colder climate, lower UV index as well, and it seems to be on the cheaper side compared to many of the other countries, but I don't know. That is a lot of camels coming over though. Vinchester is gonna start getting the raids going. TaToH realized the ball is on time, managed to get the quick wall stop on time as well to prevent any of the villagers from being exposed over here inside the wall line and around the goal as well. So Vinchester's got a very small amount of damage he can do over here, and while he did manage to end up taking a bunch of villagers, he's not anywhere near as many as I thought he was going to get. And now, TaToH might end up cleaning the units up. TaToH's got more units over here for upgrades. He's looking a little bit better as well. He's got Heavy Camel coming up. And wow, Heavy Camel came in a little bit sooner for Vinchester. In the end, TaToH's numbers trump Vinchester's army. And now the Bull player, he's got momentum. Vinchester, in the end, does still manage to hold on to a very decent KD though, despite that engagement looking very one-sided. And that's gotta be because of all the villagers he was able to get with the camels before TaToH's army showed up. Parimba coming in a clutch moment for TaToH as well, so the upgrade coming up over there about the same time as Vinchester. Finished researching Heavy Camel Rider, but now we have Heavy Camel Rider for TaToH as well, and with Parimba, these camels from the Bull player are just gonna be so deadly. Just gotta make sure, of course, that he keeps the numbers high, so Vinchester is unable to leverage the numbers, right, to get a better trade over here. Here we are. Got some crumbles over here from TaToH. And the discount for cavalry units for Vinchester is carrying pretty heavily over here, I must add. But is struggling to keep the production going quite as heavily as Vinchester has been able to. It's going down. I'm going to continue the conversation about the country in a moment, but need to focus on the game because it seems like this is getting very, very close to the conclusion. Remember also the players do not really have a draft over here for civilizations. They have home maps, although it's not in a draft. They have home maps and they have hidden pick no repeat for civilizations. Game number 5, by the way, is going to take place on... Wait. What was that? What is the explosion? Game number 5 is going to take place on Reblet, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, no matter what, so we'll see. Here comes the big engagement. Vinchester's looking better, guys. 60 military versus 30 over here. It's not going to be particularly close. TaToH realizes, without the engagement being over still, and goes on to call it GG, because how does he ever fight those camel off when Vinchester's got so many more of these? That just goes to show, numbers over here, absolutely critical for your army. Trumps the upgrades, trumps the stats over here. TaToH ends up losing game number 4, and that's going to put us in a 2-2 position over here. So game number 5, and this is going to be a full set. Game number 5 is going to be the decider to see who moves on to the upper brackets final and who gets knocked down to the lower brackets semifinals. We'll see. Going for the achievements then one more time. We'll see for military a better KD for Vinchester, about 6-to-5 KD ratio. For economy, a stronger economy for Vinchester, collecting about 4,000 or more like 3,600 extra resources. For society, a higher villager max count for TaToH, in the end, didn't really matter. He was also the player to lose the most villages as well, so he had to replenish those, which came at a cost, of course. So when you add that into the military production cost, and you factor in Vinchester's discount on stable unit production right in the Imperial Age, no wonder Vinchester was able to get a much stronger engagement towards the end of the game. Well played! And there we go, the final game of the series to define who's gonna be the one between TaToH and Vinchester, moving on to the upper bracket final. TaToH's playing with Lithuanians, Vinchester's playing with Hindustanis. So he saved this by going for Japanese. And by the way, the fact that Vinchester was able to get away with Japanese on 4 quarters is nothing short of remarkable. And now he's got Hindustanis left for Triple Arabia, which is also going to be a fantastic civilization for a map like this. You still have 3 TCs, right? So you'll be able to save a bunch by going for your villagers. And compared to Lithuanians, it should be better in terms of economy because Lithuanians... And let's go through the civilization. Starting with TaToH's first, we're going to see the blue player gets 150 extra food upon starting the game. He gets 10% faster moving skirm, spear line units, as well as 1 extra attack on Knights and Light units per each relic garrison, up to 4. Team bonus gives also Lithuanians 20% faster working monasteries, and that's going to be about it. So yeah, Vinchester civilization over here is really good. With a discount on villagers of 10, 15, 20, and 25% in the Darkfield Castle and Imperial Ages. We'll see for Hindustanis a much greater savings in food compared to the extra food that TaToH begins with. So it's only going to be a matter of time until Vinchester comes out on top in that regard. Besides that, Hindustanis will also give the red player over here 25% faster attacking camels. +1/+1 armor on gunpowder units, and for the team bonus, 2 bonus damage from light cavalry Hussar. And camel units against buildings. So yeah. I know I am the same. I'm trying so much to suppress my East European accent. So it means a lot when somebody tells me you don't sound Romanian at all. Yeah. I know, right? It feels kind of an awkward thing to take pride on. Because you... as a speaker, you don't mind other people have an accent, like a thick accent, but you don't want to have it yourself for some reason. I don't know, there's this thing. For me, it's not only a matter of pride necessarily, but it's also a matter of making a living out of casting games to an international audience. I want to have as clear a pronunciation as possible so that most people can understand what I say, right? It's very important, but yeah, it also happens over here as well, quite a lot. I'm going to check your channel, Daniela, then. to take a look at it, because now I'm curious about your pronunciation. Yo, Manfred! Welcome, dude! Long time no see. How are you doing? There isn't really too much time to take a look at the map generations for the guys over here, so I'm just going to do my best. Starting up in the north, TaToH. With left-hand side TC, is going to have 1 goal forward, so that's not ideal, for sure. And then he's got... over here, the center TC as well, the goal forward, the main goal forward, right? And then the secondary goals, they are all forward as well. So this is not good. This is not good. Take a look at this. This goal might as well be a neutral one. It's in between Vinchester's left-hand side TC and TaToH's left-hand side TC, this one. So it's not great. Taking a look at the right-hand side for TaToH, he does finally have 1 back goal over here. And then the rest are going to be forward as well. So once again, not the best map generation for TaToH whatsoever. Only 1 save gold. Down the south, we see that Vinchester, first off, is going to have 1 goal on the back from the right-hand side TC, which is great. And the secondary goals will be super exposed. Now, this one, I'm not really sure. I think this might be TaToH's. This one over here. So this would be Vinchester's, and where's the other one? I'm actually not really sure. I think that might actually be TaToH's, but it seems like it could be Vinchester's. And then for the center TC, Vinchester's got this goal forward, and the other secondary gold, I don't see it right now. Oh, it's in the back. It's underneath the minimap over here. That is so much better for Vinchester, though. So far, his map generation seems to be a little bit stronger in that regard. Village is on the way, Vinchester. Already on 54 villagers. We'll see both these players going fast castle. And what to expect? Well, it's going to be full camels for Vinchester. Nothing else for him to go for really in TaToH. TaToH would certainly want to play for the relics over here. Without it, I don't think he really stands too many chances against Vinchester Civilization. So, kind of saving Hindustanis for game number 5 over here might have been a genius move, a big brain move from Vinchester. We'll see if he manages to make it work. This is like an area team game, except it's just 2 dudes. Yeah, exactly. Now, the ultimate double and triple TC maps are going to allow you to use different civilizations per TC. Now, I want to see that. I don't think it's possible to do, right, with the Genie engine, without modifying the source code to add a mode where you will be able to use different civilizations per TCs. Unless you like heavy script it, but then you would have like fixed civilizations per TC. That's just cruel. Oh, you're talking to our base. I see. You're having your own conversation over there. It's not nearly as good as yours, especially when tilted in game. Ah, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. So long as people can't understand you, it's good. I do not have the perfect accent that I was hoping to get. I think I could get it if I keep on trying harder. But to be honest, I'm kind of slacking with my pronunciation practice right now, because I think it's gotten good enough that anybody, no matter what background, is gonna be able to understand me. So like there is no need already to get it any better than this, but maybe in the future I'm going to resume working on it. I think you could do a team game where each player uses 2 accounts and 2 copies of the game, and choose the option where you control your allies units. So it can be done. Kind of like co-op. Wait, can you do that? I know that you can do several players controlling a single player in-game, a single civilization, but I didn't know that you could do a single player controlling also your allied civilization. Anyway, castle is on the way for both these players. It's going to be pretty uneventful until we get there. But once we're there, should be good still. Here we are. Villager going down. Yes, sir. First villager going down from TaToH. Vinchester lost a villager earlier. It seems like he lost a villager to a boar somewhere. I cannot see the body of the villager anymore, though, so... happened a little while ago. It's very hard. Take a look at this. And I know some people might be thinking, what is so special about double TC start, triple TC start, when players go for extra TCs in the castle each all the times, right? It's just part of the game. The difference is that when you start with the extra TCs, you have to amount for so many extra things compared to if you're just playing in the castle. If you're playing in the castle and you have extra TCs, all you gotta worry about it is, and by the way, another villager going down, and another one! 3 villagers dead already from Vinchester. TaToH's already starting to get some good damage done, meanwhile Vinchester scouts are completely walled out of TaToH's economy. So yeah, the difference is that in a normal game, right, you get to the castle, you have the extra TCs, all you gotta worry about is having farms and killing villagers. But here, you have 3 game starts to worry about, so you gotta lure the boars on all 3 TCs. If you want to push deer, you have to do that on all 3 TCs, right? And it really messes you up because you usually have your timing prepared for a single TC game where you are going to go in a sequential manner, first for your shepherds, then for your lumberjacks, then for your, you know, your hunters. And over here you're going to have overload when you have to start collecting the boar, because you're going to want to do it with all 3 TCs at the same time, and you cannot just do it, right? 2 villages going down now from TaToH as well. Vinchester does end up getting a little bit of damage over there. In the end, it's going to be 3-3 KV for Vinchester. The only reason he's able to keep up over here is because of TaToH's villager going down to the boar earlier. What's TaToH's pocket doing? Yeah, well, Vinchester seems to be playing this as a team game a little bit better. He's connected the walls from the right-hand side and his center TCs really well. And the left-hand side is going to have 2 TCs over here, so that's going to provide some extra protection on its own, right? TaToH? TaToH's completely open on the left-hand side. He's completely open at the center, and only the right-hand side, he's got the walls up. This is something that you used to see in the past on double TC start games, where the players would go for full walls on one of their bases, and they would go full military production from the other base. But these days, it's not quite the case anymore. The players are playing a lot more exposed, a lot more open. Can't even play with one TC? Yeah, I know the feeling. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. To everybody who's followed today. It's very much appreciated, and I hope you guys are enjoying so far. We have another series to go after this one. Remember, it's going to be Dark versus the Viper. That one also took place earlier today. Couldn't catch it live, but we are going to cast the recorded games. So we are going to be completely caught up for Double Cup 3 once we are through the second series of the day as well. Tomorrow, starting 16 GMT. Tomorrow, starting 16 GMT, we are going to start providing coverage for the replacement qualifier for the Grand Melee. If you're interested in that as well. Yesterday, we had a massive stream covering 6 series. Nice, Village is nice over here from Vinchester. Yesterday, we had a massive stream providing coverage for 6 series. Back to back to back to back to back to back. For the original qualifiers for the Grand Melee, and it was a good one. I highly recommend you go back and watch it if you haven't. Especially the first one. The first one was one of my favorite series for sure. Here comes Vinchester though. He's able to breach through. He's coming in straight into the gold. And TaToH gets completely trapped over there. The villagers are going down still. The EKKD is surprisingly low, given the amount of units we have out for both these guys, but they are going to keep on trying to get the raids going. On the left-hand side, TaToH's coming in with knights. And Vinchester's not only going for camels himself, but he's managed to save enough resources, and this is huge, and this is what I was talking about. He understands being such a strong civilization for a map like this. Vinchester is on his way to the Imperial Age, while TaToH is not even close. He can't even begin to imagine how many resources he needs to go out to the Imperial Age. TaToH's so far up right now. Vinchester is in a fantastic spot, assuming that he's able to hold on and does not get completely clapped before getting to the Imperial Age, and ends up going for an imp into nothing, right? And here comes TaToH. He's got pikemen, he's got knights. Vinchester is going all in, trying to get the castle up, and he might be able to do it, but he's losing a lot of villagers. And while the castle's most likely coming out for sure, TaToH's got ramps already. He's putting pressure. He's got double siege workshops over here, very close to the castle. He's gonna go after it. And Vinchester is playing full defense over here. Doesn't really have too many units to go for, and keep on trying to put the pressure anymore. So TaToH might actually end up getting away and taking the castle down here. Will he? Vinchester is using the villagers over here as if they were military units, taking the ramps down, bring the camels back to push the knights away. And TaToH's not stopping, guys. He's got bikes, should be able to fight the camels off. With the rams coming out over here, Vinchester is still in danger for sure, but TaToH's gonna be cautious and bring the units back. Try to regroup before going for the push again. The monk got 2 camels, 1 conversion, and 1 deleted because Vinch thought that was the targeted one. Oh! Love it when it happens. Hate it when it happens to you. Hold on, it seems like we're having some bitrate issues. Hello. While live as well. All good? Let me know. Should be fine, right? Yeah, let's keep on going. Thank you. Imperial Age is here for Vinchester indeed. If Vinchester can pull this off, it'll be a reverse sweep, right? Exactly. Absolutely, TaToH was looking very strong after the first 2 games, and Vinchester started coming back. So here comes TaToH though, not the one to stop putting pressure. He's gone for a train of pain. The Rams coming over here. We'll have a surprise inside. In the moment Vinchester tries to engage over here with the camels, well, the surprise is going to pop out. And we'll see a castle coming out for TaToH. Not going out to the Imperialists just yet, but definitely has momentum over here. 200 population already for the bull player. Vinchester, not quite as close. He does have a nice raid coming up in the north though. TaToH realized about this, but didn't really have enough garrison space for all the villagers, so there's a lot of exposed economy still that Vinchester is going to be more than happy to collect. Down the south though, this castle's going down, and TaToH, he's getting his own castle up. To be able to target the TC, might not even need a castle because the Rams are still up. He's going after the TCs right away, and Vinchester is going to be in a world of pain here. After the TC scramble, he won't really have enough tools to protect himself with, as the camels are not strong enough, especially with this military distribution between the players. The TCs are not going to shelter villages anymore, so that is a lot of losses over here for Vinchester. And TaToH started to pick up steam over here, getting some great momentum, holding on to the momentum he had, actually building on top of it. And Vinchester still manages to hold on to a decent amount of workers, despite the fact that the raids from TaToH are so strong. Arson's coming in for Vinchester. He's got Gulam. He's going for Grand Trunk Road. And TaToH very soon will be able to click up to the Imperialist himself. For the time being, he's actually getting away with so much damage over here. That's going to be another bunch of villages going down from Vinchester. Right hand side, TaToH starts knocking on Vinchester's door. He's managed to collect 3 relics so far, so there we are. These Light Chai, the knights, are incredibly strong, especially with iron casting already. The knights from TaToH are stronger than knights from any other civilization in the Imperial Age. Fully upgraded knights from any other civilization in the Imperial Age. Not stronger for defense, of course, but stronger for attack with already +5. There we go, Light Char coming in. They're doing work, man. The camels do not seem to be strong enough over here, despite attacking faster. And TaToH, well, he's off to the Imperial Age in the next few seconds. Vinchester seems to be in a pretty precarious position. Teutons, yeah, not talking about defense, just talking about attack, right? TaToH's knights over here with +5 attack, they are already higher compared to a knight with Blast Furnace, for instance. And he's in the Castle Age. Once he gets to the Imperial Age, he'll be able to go for Plate Bar and Armor. Cavalier, potentially Paladin, of course. Another castle's coming out for TaToH forward on the right-hand side. And Vinchester was able to stabilize for the most part, but he lost one of his bases, right? The left-hand side one. Good defense for Vinchester with a Gulam. But having lost access to these extra resources is actually huge, because that's going to be thousands of extra resources that if TaToH is able to prevent Vinchester getting access back to, he's going to be in a better position simply by him having access to all of his starting gold still. We are some ways off from gold running out this game, for sure. But TaToH should be in a better position if it ever comes down to it. Extra castles coming out now for TaToH on the left-hand side. It's remarkable, and Vinchester's really struggled to make use of a siege, despite being in the Imperial Age. He was able to take the castle down from TaToH on the left-hand side. Where are the trebuchets now from Vinchester? He's trying to go after this castle, and TaToH's going for extra castles over here, so he'll be fine even if he loses the hill one. And he's only 45 seconds away from the Imperial Age, and from Cavalier, potentially Elite Light Chai, which would be so deadly in Vinchester. Vinchester's going for Heavy Camel Rider. He's just finished researching it. Should definitely need to go for Imperial Camel over here if he stands a chance, if he wants to stand a chance against TaToH's unit. So let's see. Oh, you're correct. Crop Plasm, so it's not stronger than every other knight. True, with Farimba, Malians are technically stronger. Still pretty good though. Not too shabby. Got some crumbles over here from TaToH. Doesn't matter? I would say probably not. He's going pretty heavily into Light Chai, and certainly losing the castle over there is going to suck for production potential, but because he's got so many, it's not really going to reduce his production by too much. He still has 5 castles, so having lost that one is going to only reduce his production potential by about 15% or so. And here come the Light Chai, taking the Trishi down. Well done. It's got a lot more from where that came from. Castle could crumble for TaToH very soon. He's going for yet another one, so he'll still remain at 5 castles no matter what. This one might go down in the end though, we'll see. TaToH's bringing the Light Chai over to try and take the trebuchet down. Doesn't have too many villagers, so he needs to take this one down. Otherwise, he won't be able to repair for too long. And there we go. The trebuchet is going down. It's such a strong unit. Conceptually speaking, ignoring armor is just making this so much stronger than most any other unit in the game, and we are getting to good amounts for TaToH. Not only good amounts, but these are elite Light Chai as well. Meanwhile, Vinchester is only now going for Imperial Camels, but he's already getting raided to death on the right-hand side. The castle crumble, the TC crumble. There is not anywhere near enough garrison space for Vinchester to protect his economy, so all the villages are going down, and he dropped under 100 villager count, under 150 population. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be the end of it. We have the Light Chai coming over here, taking on the camels and actually coming out on top. Especially with the castle over here. TaToH's in a fantastic position to take the engagement, and Vinchester gets completely wiped out. At the center, Vinchester's gonna try to keep on putting pressure. He's got the castle coming up forward. Another one. But the problem for Vinchester is this push that he's got going towards the north doesn't really guarantee much of anything for him, because we have so much extra space for TaToH to expand onto that if Vinchester keeps on pushing further and further north and taking down the defenses from TaToH and whatnot, TaToH can just move over here to the left hand side, right, and basically usurp Vinchester's former base. He can keep on moving over the right hand side, right, and try to take control of the corner, for instance. Light Chai is also cheaper to upgrade than Paladin, unless you count the castles. Yeah, well, yeah, true, right? TaToH's done a really good job playing for Light Chai from the very beginning, so he's managed to get a good infrastructure ready to produce from. Can't ignore melee armor if you don't have any. There we are. Fantastic. And the Vinchester will end up coming out on top over there. There we go. Nice. It's looking so much better for TaToH, guys. Vinchester struggled to recover himself still. Less than 150 population. He's managed to get past 100 villagers, yes. But the military count is just so meager for Vinchester. And you take a look at his economy, you take a look at his resources, and how does he ever come back against TaToH, who's going for so many Light Chai, he's going for so many halberdier right now. He's got so many more units right now, as well, compared to Vinchester. And it seems to me that as long as TaToH plays his cards right over here, he should have pretty much game number 5 in the bag over here, guaranteed, unless he throws the game somehow. Make some major mistakes. You gotta love it as well how cautious TaToH is over here. He's not overextended at this point in time, especially with the score lead, and having vision of the inside of Vinchester's base, right? And you know that there is only one base that Vinchester's got left, the center one. Having gotten vision of the left hand side and the right hand side basically disappearing from Vinchester you wouldn't really blame a player in TaToH's position from just sending the gather point forward and just start spamming the units, right? But he's going to be as cautious as to take the castles down one by one, so he makes sure he can push over here without getting shredded by castles, without having to worry about the defenses too much. And of course, Vinchester ends up losing the castles over here on the hill. That's going to be pretty much game over, because how does he stop TaToH's push anymore? Over here, yeah, the camels are getting completely clapped. Beautiful. I wonder if 105 is against the tournament rules. It's not, but it's not necessary because Vinchester calls a GG in the end. TaToH takes game number 5. He's gonna bring the series back from the danger of a reverse sweep over here, and he's going to be the one moving on to the upper brackets final. If I'm not mistaken, I think TaToH, sorry. I think he was the winner of the previous edition of the Double Cup, wasn't he? We'll take a look. Let's go through the achievements over here before checking that. For me, TaToH, you have a very nice KD over here for Vinchester. It's pretty close, actually. So not so nice, I guess. Especially given the fact that he was fighting with camels, right? Against cavalry, you probably expect it to be a little bit higher, but the light chat, they're just so strong from TaToH that is not too bad for the blue player. However, taking a look at economy, because TaToH managed to get a lot of extra resources, especially towards the end of the game, as he was getting ahead in work account over here by a lot. He compensated for the KD being somewhat even, as he was able to afford going for more units. Also, he was the player to lose the least villagers over here, having lost about 62 villagers throughout the game, while Vinchester ended up losing 122. So you might have cheaper villages for Vinchester, but that is a lot of extra villagers to have to compensate for. Yeah. Alright. Well played. TaToH, first finalist. Actually, I think he's the second finalist already.